Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Over Easy. My name is Manny, in case you're new here, or welcome back. Hope you are having an amazing week so far. Hope you're having an amazing day whenever you're listening to this. Let's get started with a quick little check-in and an affirmation as we do every single episode. So, my rosebud and my thorn. Rose is something good, bud is something I'm looking forward to. Thorn is something that's not so good that's happened this week. I love doing these, honestly. They're so fun. Like, truly, it makes my day. Rosebud and thorn. Okay, my thorn of the day is every single Saturday, or I try to every single Saturday. In the morning, I eat breakfast and get coffee from one of my favorite cafes, and it's the same. I go and read, I do a little bit of journaling, I plan my podcast episodes, and I do this every single Saturday morning without fail, or I try to. And unfortunately, what happened today is that the payment system went down because the internet was down. And I was kind of sad. I waited for half an hour, but nothing came up and it didn't seem like the system was working. So I had to go to a different cafe this morning. And it just wasn't as good. It wasn't the same vibes. It wasn't as delicious. Typically every single week I get an almond milk latte and a ham egg cheese croissant, and it's so delicious. Today I got a pumpkin spice latte and then like a bacon egg breakfast sandwich, and it just affirms to me that my favorite cafe is just the best, and it is my favorite for a reason. And while I did appreciate the change in routine, it reminds me that I do only in fact like that cafe. Obviously I'm kidding a little bit, but I was a little bit sad about that this morning and just like annoyed. So that's my thorn of the day. My bud is that I am gonna go bouldering this afternoon because it's like the perfect bouldering day. It's a little bit rainy and cold, so I want to stay inside, and I also don't have many plans today, so it's just the perfect day to go bouldering, and I haven't gone in a very long time, so I'm very excited. It's like, this is one of my favorite every so often activities. Like, I don't do it every single week, I don't do it once a year, I do it every so often, so every few months or so I'll go. It makes your hands and arms really sore, that's why I don't go that often, but it is really, really fun. And also, it's part of my gym membership. Like, my gym has a climbing wall there, so obviously it's free for me, with the exception of shoe rentals, but it's worth it. It's like a perfect, like, oh, I have nothing to do today, I'm gonna go bouldering because it's low cost and I can do it by myself, and it's just a great activity. I just hope it's not too busy. We'll see. My rose is I would like to share that it is mooncake season. If you are a celebrator of mooncake season, then you know what time it is. Listen to this. Is that aesthetic? I don't know. Is that ASMR? Anyways, this year we got durian green bean paste snowy mooncakes, and then the other flavor that we got is also green bean paste snowy mooncakes, but they're mango pomelo sago filled. But I am a durian lover, so I love the durian ones. I know some people think they smell like gym socks, and that's your own opinion, and that's fine. I love durian. It's one of my favorite snacks, foods, flavors ever. I get a durian birthday cake every single year. I just love durian, and my taste buds are interesting, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so that durian mooncake I'm gonna eat after I record this episode, and I'm very excited. Okay, another thing is that I re-downloaded TikTok, and I am scared because I'm scared I'm gonna get sucked back into watching them. But actually what I've done is I've removed TikTok from my home screen. I've only downloaded TikTok again with the intention of posting videos, because I realized how much I miss like documenting my life and showing my life in a very casual way. And what I mean by that is, obviously I could do YouTube videos, but I think that's just a little too formal for me right now. I really enjoy making short little videos that are low effort-ish and just showcase my life. So I re-downloaded TikTok for the purpose of that. And that is that. Okay, those are my updates of the week. Let's do a little affirmation as we do. Are you ready? Fall in love with yourself today. That is such a cute little affirmation. I love that one. What the heck? That bringing out those cards reminds me of this Instagram reel person I keep seeing on my page that shows up. He's like, I'm something Adam, and if this came along with your page, it's probably for you. That's what it reminds me of. Me pulling out the cards and he's telling my future. Anyways, today we are going to do, as I said last week, a little fall intentions reflection video, because with the change of the seasons, I really do enjoy reflecting on life and just looking back at what has made me happy, maybe what's not working so well for me in my life right now. And I think it's really important, especially as we go into fall, because it's the end of the year already. 2023 has gone by so fast, which is crazy, but the fall time especially, I think, can go by so fast because there's so many holidays and like fun activities going on that maybe are a little bit like distracting, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and all this stuff. It just makes the end of the year go by so fast. So I feel like if you're not purposeful in stopping to reflect and think about your intentions, then it can be really easy to just have the year fly by. Which, I mean, you don't have to like do this every single season. I just think it's really fun, and especially, I don't know, right now I feel like I'm in a bigger transition, like it's like a very transition period of my life. So reflecting about that is very important. So we're going to do that. But first, I'm going to share a few of my favorites because it is the end of September. And I do have a few that I want to share with you guys because I've just been obsessed with stuff recently. Okay. Some of it's beauty. I have a little bit of music. And then I have just random stuff. So the first thing that I am obsessed with, I must share, because last week I went to the mall and I went by myself, and it was just such a fun day because I haven't gone to the mall in a very long time, and I also haven't gone to the mall by myself in a very long time. But it was really fun because I just did whatever I wanted to, and that's what I love about hanging out by yourself, is that you can just do what you want. If you want to spend a little more time at this place, you do that. If you want to eat this thing, you do that, and all that. So I really channeled that when I went to the mall last week, and I know this is such a small thing, but I just think I really romanticized it. So I went to the mall, and I only had the need to get eyebrow gel and also check out the new maker store at the mall, because there was a new store that opened up which basically like sells only local artists and their stuff. So I wanted to check out the store because I love stores like that. So I did, and then I went to Sephora because I needed a new brow gel. That was like the only thing I actually needed. And then I also, because I was just by myself and I realized I needed a new eyeliner, I tested out every single eyeliner in Sephora because I need a new one. I had the Stila double-ended one, and that one is okay, but it just runs out of ink really fast, or like the nibs start like running out of ink really fast, and I really don't like it. And then I bought a Rimmel one from Shoppers Drug Mart. That one was even more terrible. The brush was not good. It was a felt tip, but it was just, the end was not good. And then it ended up running out of ink super fast, or it didn't really do well if it was going over eyeshadow, which is what I do and I feel like is very normal. So I really didn't like the Rimmel eyeliner. So I was on the mission to find a new eyeliner. And I tested every single eyeliner out in Sephora. As I said, you should have seen I had all the streaks on my hand. And what I realized I'm looking for is an eyeliner that has a felt tip. I like a felt tip because brush tip, when you have all those bristles, if one goes awry, it is unsavable. And it's just not good. Also, brush I feel like is too flexible for my liking. So I like felt tip. but I need the felt tip to be flexible like a brush. So there are some felt tip eyeliners where the tip just like doesn't bend or move, but I was on the lookout for a felt tip where the tip could also bend and brush and be flexible if it was possible. And I did end up finding one, and that is the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner. And this is a longwear liquid eyeliner in the black color. If I were to rebuy this, I would buy the brown color, but they didn't have it in stock, and this was the last black one at Sephora. But this eyeliner is so good. It is so good. I cannot rave over it more. What I love about it. So as I said, I was looking for a very specific tip, and this one matches my needs perfectly, which is that it's a felt tip, but the felt tip is very flexible. So it makes drawing the line easy and easy to control as well. Then it is so super pigmented, which is why I think I want the brown color next. It is so super pigmented, and it is, I think, waterproof or water resistant. It's definitely like needs makeup remover to come off. Like it won't come off if you're just crying, which is great. So this has been my favorite. Also, the shape of the pen is like a triangle, so it's nice and easy to hold. There was one by Urban Decay, I think, that had a really like super weird grip that I really did not like. And this Fenty Beauty eyeliner is truly my new favorite makeup product, and it is expensive, but we'll get into this in a sec, but it is worth it. Okay, my next favorite recently is the Anastasia Brow Gel. I've used this before, and now that I'm back using it again, I just realize how much I love it. I think for this, the perfect thing is the brush. It is a very nice spoolie that is very thick and covered, because the last one that I used was the Benefit Brow Gel, and their brush is just kind of small and flimsy, but the Anastasia Brow Gel, the brush really gets the gel into your eyebrow, and so your eyebrows are kind of stuck there because of the gel, obviously. And I really, really like that. Like you can just feel the brushes coating your eyebrow in gel, which is perfect because I want my eyebrows to stay nice and secure and not like move around and be all crazy. So those are my two top favorite makeup favorites as of right now, and I literally just bought them last week and I'm obsessed with them. That's how much I like them. Next up, my next favorite is dry shampoo. I never used this growing up, but I started using it as I moved out because I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I really do appreciate dry shampoo. It is such a great product, and I know this is such a weird thing to talk about, but I think it's great because it's just like the perfect way to remove a little bit of grease from your hair. It definitely cannot replace like a full head wash. I don't think that's possible, for me at least. But it's great because there are days when the top of my head is very greasy, and I'm so sorry if this is gross. The top of my head is very greasy, but the ends of my hair are still pretty fluffy and dry. And so the dry shampoo just does a nice job of balancing it out so that the top of my head is not so greasy. And it's great for also styling your hair too, to make your hair like a little bit more workable. Okay, the next one is a random favorite, and it's not a tangible item, but it's the idea to pay more money for quality. And I have been shown this time and time again, and this is a mindset that I use all the time. For example, with the makeup products that I just talked about, I wanted to skimp out on the money and just buy Shoppers Drug Mart, but the quality just was not there. And had I just kept buying Shoppers Drug Mart quality eyeliners, I think I would have spent more than just spending it on one Fenty eyeliner that is way better quality and probably would last a lot longer. And it's not just for tangible goods, but I also think for experiences and opportunities, this is also a great mindset to have. And obviously it comes with, I think, like a little bit of critical thinking is required, because obviously it's easy to spend your money all the time, but you need to think about when your money is worth the quality, or when the quality is worth the money, because it's not always the fact that you just pay more money and you'll always get something better. But anyways, for another example that I can think of, can I think of any? My makeup is the biggest example that I was thinking of, but I think also I mean, for example, my gym membership, I've talked about this many times for sure, but the fact that my gym membership is definitely much more expensive than a regular one, I pay about $72 a month, but the fact that it comes with so much more high quality experiences and opportunities, like it's not just the gym. I actually haven't gone to the gym at my gym for so long, but I do fitness classes there. I'm going bouldering there later today, and it just elevates my relationship with fitness and exercise a lot more because I'm paying for this better quality experience and opportunities. I've also talked about this as like money as a form of energy and investing the money into your whatever energy you want. That I think is also very true in that if you spend more money in certain areas, that energy will flow and focus in your life. So if you spend more money in plastic surgery, like Botox and lip filler, then the energy of the physical appearance and that kind of energy will flow more in your life. Whereas if you spend more money in the gym area, going to Equinox maybe, because that's very expensive, then the energy in your life will be more focused on fitness and health. So that's that. Next up are my new 2 obsession songs recently. The first one is Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat, as I think everyone is on TikTok. I love this song. It just makes me feel like such a bad bee. When I'm driving in the car and listening to it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so badass, and this is so great. The next song is Maniac by Conan Gray. I'm not much of a Conan Gray listener, mostly because I just haven't been exposed to his music. The thing about me with music is like, I won't actively search out new music. Usually how I find new music is through social media. Like people will put it in the background of their videos or stuff like that. Actually, that's like pretty much the only way I find new music. But I think this one was also TikTok famous, the Maniac song. And it is so good. It just like is such a good summer like blast out in your car song. Actually, last week when I was hanging out with my friends, I was driving one of my friends home and it was like 11 p.m. and we were blasting Maniac and we were just vibing in the car. We're like, woo woo. And we were having such a good time that the car next to us was like staring at us at a red light. So we were definitely portraying great energy, and I think they were just jealous, but that's how good the song is that I channeled that. Okay. And the last 2 favorites, my first one is Flash tattoos. I'm thinking of getting new tattoos. Don't tell my mom. But I'm more excited about the idea of using flash designs by tattoo artists, because I think it really showcases the artist's talents and their perspective, and also whatever you like of the artist's flash designs also reflects a lot about you, if that makes sense, right? Like if a tattoo artist comes out with a sheet of flash designs, so maybe like 5 different things that are like, oh, you can get these tattooed. What you pick and what resonates with you, I feel like says a lot about you, even though they're like pre-made designs. It's not like something that you made up or thought of or wanted to custom make. The fact that I might choose one and my friend might choose another that she thinks is cute says a lot about us already. And I think it's a little less work because I feel like when you custom something, it's a lot of pressure because you're like, oh, like I need to make this perfect for my body. But the flash designs are like, oh, they're silly and fun. This one really vibes with me and I like it, so let's get it. And I think that's the energy I'm going to go with for my next few tattoos is get flash, because the tattoos that I have now are very meaningful to me and they're things that I like. But after that, I don't really have any fixations that I really, really want. Like for my current tattoos, my hedgehog one, I've thought about since high school getting like this exact design. I had it in my mind and I got it done. And then the constellation ones I've also had in my mind since a very long time ago, and they really, really mean something to me. And it's not that flash designs don't mean anything to me, but it's just that it's just a little more fun. It's just like a showcase of art and fun. That's what I'm trying to get at. And my last favorite is, I know I said fun a lot of times, but my last favorite is silly fun, silly, wholesome fun. And I can't even explain what that means unless you're just in the know. Like, if you know, you know. But I've realized how much I love just silly, sober, wholesome fun. Last week, my friends and I went to the driving range. None of us are pro golfers by any means, but it was just really, really fun. A good time to just hit the balls and laugh if it only fell off the balcony, or woo if it goes really far. And we also just played board games at the cafe, and it was just, I think it's really nice to be very silly. It unlocks your inner child that I think a lot of us are missing as we grow into adulthood. I feel like as you get an adult, or like in your 20s when you start growing up, you feel like you have to maintain this professional, silly, or professional, like serious attitude. But I think naturally at our core, we all have a little bit of silly inner child in us that we need to unlock once in a while, because it's just a lot of fun. I've also just been doing that at work, like silly fun. When I email people, I get a little more silly. I don't make it that serious anymore, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you're good at your job. That's what I was going to say. Because as long as you get things done, everything else is just a showcase of your personality, and who really cares if people judge you for being silly? Like, I was putting funny emojis at the end of my emails last week because I felt like it, and I actually did get a comment from a customer. He was like, "Oh, did you get a new emoji pack? Like, you're making me crack up with all these emojis that you're putting in." And I was like, "No, I just felt like it because I'm a little bit bored." And that's that. It's not like if people judge you, then that's on them. Who cares? Like, that's really the energy that I'm channeling, which is silly, wholesome, be yourself fun. We're bringing that into the end of 2023, everyone, okay? So those are my recent favorites. Let's get into my fall reflection questions and intention settings, and talk about what the rest of 2023 is going to be like for us besties, okay? So I have 4 questions to kind of just reflect on how the year's been going and how I want to end off the year. Obviously, I want to end off the year strong. So the first question is reviewing the year. What is going well and what is not going so well? So for me, what is going really well is my routine and my work-life balance. I cannot express how much I love being not a student anymore. And I was going to say, 2023 is my first year of never being a student in the entire year, which is quite wild for me because in the grand scheme of things, it's not been a very long time since I've been out of school. I feel like it's been ages, but in the grand scheme of things, it's only been a year. And I love it. The biggest thing that I love is that you don't constantly feel guilty because you're not doing something productive. And that is because when you're a student, there's always something that you could be doing to help your academics, whether that's getting ahead for the next midterm. And almost always throughout the semester, I was never ahead, and I could always do something extra to help aid my learning and understanding and whatever I needed to do for a course. But when you're an adult, that is not a feeling that I feel anymore. And it's just so relieving that I can finally rest without feeling guilty. And I know that that's such a big thing that everyone needs to work on, especially if you're a student. I feel like that is such a normal thing to feel, and yet none of us ever talk about it. It is okay to rest, and you don't have to always be productive. Like, it is okay to not do anything school related for once. And that is what I love the most about being a working adult, is when I'm off the clock, I'm not working, and I'm not, obviously I still think about work in my off time, but it's not like I make myself feel bad about either not working or that I'm not doing more. It's like, no, I am okay, and this is okay. Like, I can rest. Now is my time to focus on my own personal life, what I want to achieve, and stuff like that. Like, I love that feeling. So also my work-life balance has been great because I was thinking of if I should say great. I would say it's been good. I definitely had a lot of fun over the summer, but I think it's been, again, the same kind of deal. Is like, I love that when I have my off time, like I can use it as my off time. Like, that is amazing. And also, what's been going well for me is that I'm in my yes era. So when I want to try something new, it's a yes. When I want to go and do something, it's a yes. Like, there doesn't need to be a reason, there doesn't need to be a justification. It's just a, if you want to, then you do it. And that's the best part. That's my favorite thing about my life right now. What's not going well, I would say, is definitely just like thinking about the steps that I want to take about my future. And I think that's just something that paralyzes every young 20-something-year-old right now. Is just like, oh, what do I do with my life next? But I think that's like a feeling that everyone feels. So that's definitely been something that I've been starting to think about, because again, I have been working for full time for a year now. I'm like, do I want to maintain this? Do I want to try something new? I don't know. So that kind of leads into the next question, which is, if you saw yourself in 3 years living the same life as you are now, how would you feel? And for me, I would say if I'm living this exact same life in 3 years, I would definitely be very upset with myself. And while I was thinking about my answer to this, it's not that I don't like my life now. Again, I just talked about how much I love my life now. I think my life is perfect for the phase that I'm at, which is figuring out my footing as a young adult. But if I were to keep this same life for 3 years and still be in the same position 3 years from now, so when I'm 26, then I think I'd be a little bit more upset with myself, because I think that means I haven't grown as much, I haven't challenged myself, and I haven't tried new things. That's like the biggest focus that I want, is to try new things, learn more, take advantage of every opportunity possible. And that I don't think is possible if I stay in my current situation. So while I do love my life now, it's definitely only like a transitory period. It's not like this is my life here and forever. I definitely think it'll still change a lot in the next few years. I want to get a new job. I want to travel. I want to move. And there's just so many things. But as of right now, I'm very happy with my life. But if it was still like this 3 years from now, I definitely would not be as happy. Okay. The third question is, what gives your life meaning? And I listened to a podcast episode recently. It's called This Changes Everything, which is by Therapy Jeff and Sarah. I don't know her last name. But one of the things that they talked about, the episode that I was listening to, was about things that society puts too much emphasis on or something like that. And one of the things is figuring out your life purpose. Like, they think that is overrated in society, because I do slightly agree, because I think life is just about learning about yourself and figuring it out as you go along. You don't have to figure it out as a milestone in your life. Like, you don't need to figure out your life purpose before you can do X, Y, Z. I think figuring out your life purpose is just something that comes or doesn't come. It doesn't really matter. You're just living. But anyways, I thought about that as I was answering this question, because what gives my life meaning, I don't want it to be like tangible, physical, and stagnant things in my life. I don't want my life's meaning to be my job, to be my interests. I want it to be something more fluid, I guess is what you could say. So what I answered for this question is, learning about myself outside of academics has been giving me a lot of satisfaction recently, because again, like I said, I've only not been a student for a year, just over a year, and there's still a lot to learn about myself, because I feel like school, it kind of trains you to fit inside a certain mold or a certain box. And when you finally realize, like, actually you could be anything you want, then there's a lot to learn about yourself, you know? Also, one thing that I find really, really satisfying right now about my life is trying to satisfy all my needs. I kind of think of it like a game. I think of it like a color the box if you do XYZ. And all these needs include physical health, mental health, social health, and your well-being, your emotional well-being. I find so much satisfaction out of trying to check all those things off in my life and making myself feel as best as I can, like physical health, like eating and physical activity, mental health being like taking care of yourself, doing things that you enjoy, therapy if you need. Social health is like seeing your friends, connecting with family, connecting with people in your community, and well-being. Like, is your emotional health happy? Is your soul happy with what you're doing? Are you doing enough things that satisfy your soul? Like maybe your interest is podcasts, maybe you enjoy painting, stuff like that. Like I find right now a lot of meaning in satisfying all those things, because I feel like as a student I did it as a to-do list and I felt like I had to, but now I kind of see it as like a game, like I said, but more like if I do all these things, I will feel so good. And that's kind of what I like. And last thing that has been giving my life meaning is just learning more about the world, exploring the world. I cannot tell you how much I've learned about our economy, businesses, and our supply chain just through working my job. And these are things that I don't necessarily love, like I'm super passionate about, but it's just very interesting to me. Like I think I'm very naturally curious and naturally I want to know how things work, and it's just very, very satisfying to learn more about the world, how people work, how people interact with others, why people the way they are. And I think that's very, very cool. Okay, my last reflection question is, what is the best thing that could happen to you next year? So the biggest thing that I want, the best thing that could happen to me next year is just continuing to grow. And I do have a few specific ways that could happen. I do think I want a new job next year. I think that would be very fun. I think it is great to learn new skills and just develop different skills, whether that be through different jobs, different courses of study, different programs, whatever it may be. I want to travel next year again. I'm so excited for that. And then I also want to just continue developing my own personal passions, whether that be my podcast, whether that be the TikTok videos that I'm making for fun and all that kind of stuff. And the best thing that could happen to me next year, I think, is a lot of change, even though that scares the heck out of me. And I'm so scared of that. I think that is really the best thing that could happen to me. I think sometimes we can get very stagnant and comfortable in our situations, but I am excited for next year because it makes me just more and more excited for life. As I see how great it can be, it makes me more and more excited. So that is that. Anyways, that's my episode for this week. Hope you have a great end of September and a great transition into October. That's exciting. The next time I talk to you, it'll be October. I hope you also do a little bit of fall girl reflecting if you want to think about how this year is going to end for you, what it's going to be like, and how you want it to end also. What are your intentions? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in my next episode. Bye.
And I was like, yo.